For these guys, it's just another day of chipping away at a seemingly insurmountable workload.
Been a lot of long hours. Everybody here has been working a lot of hours, and we've been getting a lot accomplished. It feels good.
And as Maine attempts to crawl out from under the effects of the ice storm, it could have to face an insurmountable recovery bill. Central Maine Power figures nearly $20 million will be needed to pay for the disaster. Bangor Hydro estimates around $5 million. The bad news, those costs will likely come out of rate hikes.
Yep, that is a possibility. Right. But we don't know. Again, till you know what the real final number is and where we are at the end, it's hard to say how we're going to handle that.
Federal emergency relief can help with some costs, but it can't go towards utility costs like Central Maine Power or Bangor Hydro. With the possibility of cleanup costs going into future rate hikes, many are wondering why the state can't just dip into the budget surplus to pay for the cleanup.
It's a good, valid question, that people can ask. Don't run it right through the rate base when you have a $180 million surplus, because I think our electric rates are fairly high as they are now, and I know that there'd be a concern about raising them any higher.
We'd like to think that, but the problem you run into is we're a private, company, and as much goodwill as we think we've gotten by this Herculean effort on the part of all of our folks, I'm not sure of the legalities of that kind of approach.
Congressman Baldacci says Maine leaders will explore several recovery options, but job one right now is to get Maine back on its feet.
The crews at Eastern Maine Electric have been working around the clock to restore power to more than 35,000 people.
It's the worst I've seen in 20 years that I've been here. We've had minor ice storms, but nothing that's affected such a large area.
We've started working from the main feeders outward. We have all of the main feeders on now, and we're working on some of the side roads. Individual homes are probably going to be the end of the week before we can get everybody back on.
Serving Washington, Penobscot, and Aroostook counties, Eastern Maine Electric is a non-profit consumer-owned company. While Central Maine Power and Bangor Hydro have hundreds of crews working to restore power, Eastern Maine Electric has only 26. But bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. Folks at Eastern Maine Electric say that 95% of their customers will be back up and running later tonight.
I'm not going to say we got off luckier than the people in the southern part of the state, but I don't think we were hit as long by the ice as Central Maine Power in particular was. And
You're getting by.
We're getting by, and we're making good progress. I feel like we're the little co-op who could, because we're working with, Central Maine Power now is working with 500 crews, so that gives you an idea of where we are. We're out there with our little 26, kind of cleaning things up and putting things back together.
In Calais, Greg McQuaid, Channel 7 News.